Hello, girls, guys, or otherwise. This is Rich with another Christo-Paganism Sunday, and today we are talking about prayer. Now, this is a topic that comes from, let me pull it up on my screen here, Nokomis? Nokomis? I am probably not saying this correctly. 1000, who writes, and this is on the Witchy Wednesday, the Rosary video. They write, I enjoyed this video. Smiley face. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Do you have a video on how to pray? I always feel like I have to begin with an Our Father, Holy Mary, but it feels just repetitive and I don't feel a connection. To which I replied, I do not have one yet. I'll add it to the list, especially since there are different types of prayer. So, like I said there are different types of prayer. You have intercessory prayer, you have prayers of petition, and then you have the rote prayers. And I'm sure there's other ones. These are the three that come to mind quite easily, and I'm sure there's other ones out there. But anyway, let's start with the one that has like the most confusion in it, which is the intercessory prayers. The intercessory prayers are ones where you are praying on behalf. You are the intercessory person. So this is the type of situation where somebody says, hey, pray for me, or pray for my family, pray for the people down in Texas that are literally freezing to death, pray for these people, to which you then pray. You are praying on behalf of somebody else, or some other situation thereof. Somebody's asking you to pray on behalf of a situation. Okay. So, where this gets really tricky is not only would I be the intercessory person, but if I am praying to a saint or to Mother Mary, to a guardian guide, angel, whoever, to then take these prayers to the universe or universal source, then that in and of itself would also be an intercessory prayer where they are the intercessory. So this is something that the Catholic Church gets a lot of flack for, and I think it's actually quite beautiful whenever actually explained to somebody who is raised in a Protestant tradition such as me. So, what it is basically you have these saints and sages that are in heaven, and all they're doing is sitting there just, okay, hey, Lord, so-and-so needs help. Like right now, they're really bothering me. And that is their job, is to sit there and basically gather the prayers up and say, okay, this person's bugging the crap out of me. Help them out. That's kind of their job. That, and to come down and, be like, be part of a vision or something like that every once in a while. Anyway, I'm kind of selling the saints short here, and I really shouldn't. I actually have a lot of respect for them, for many of them. There's some of them, not so great. But anyway, we're going to bypass that. So basically what intercessory prayer is in the Catholic Church is you are praying to a saint, not as a worship figure, not as somebody that you idolize, because that would be against the church rules and dogmas and doctrines and whatnot, and you're not allowed to do that. So basically what you do in that situation is you are praying to, let's say, Saint Anthony of Padua, which I like Saint Anthony. Saint Anthony, please look around. Something is lost and can't be found. Love that prayer. Works a lot. So basically what you're doing is you're telling Saint Anthony, hey, I lost my rosary beads. They're somewhere around here. Can't find them. Saint Anthony, look, come look around. Something is lost and can't be found. So if it's something simple like that, he's probably just going to do it himself, and, you're all good. If you are praying this, if you're praying to Saint Anthony that, a family member is lost, missing, then you would be praying to St. Anthony, saying, St. Anthony, please, get God on the case here, because I need to find my, cousin 3 times removed on my stepmother's side. I need to be able to find them. They are lost, and, can you please help me find them? So St. Anthony's going to go over to God. He's going to tap on God's shoulder. Tap, tap, tap. And the more and more I pray, the more and more he gets bugged. So he's going to tap a little harder, and he's going to say, hey, God, Rich down here is praying for his third cousin on his stepmother's side that is lost. Can you please, for the love of you, find this individual so he can stop bugging me and I can go and do miracles and help people find their rosaries? For crying out loud, can you please help him? Please, please, please. And God's going to be like, fine, okay, sure, I'll do it. And then, the cousin turns up and whatnot. So that is basically the dumbed down version of intercessory prayer that a Protestant like me really needs to have dumbed down, because, well, we're, not raised in this. We don't know of this. We pray directly to God, and if our prayers don't get answered, that's basically because we didn't pray hard enough. Meanwhile, the Catholics have this kind of down pat where they say to a saint, hey, continue to pray for this. Please, continue. And things happen. Also, many witches have this down pat whenever we do a crystal grid, and that grid is working in the backgrounds of our life while we're doing other things, and you're going to the grid in the middle of the day or, end of the day, and you're recharging it. Maybe you're going to it at the beginning of the day to recharge it, to clean the crystals, to meditate there, and send that petition out. Maybe something like that with a crystal grid. Same concept. So that's basically intercessory prayer. Went a little long on that one. Let me go and move to the next one that I wanted to discuss, which was petitioning prayers or petition prayers. We know about petitions as witches. Basically, you take a piece of paper, you write down your petition, do a little wordsmithing so it sounds nice and witchy and medieval and whatnot, and you say it 3 times, you set fire to it, maybe with a little incense and stuff powdered in there. You take your incense, you sprinkle it on there, you do a little bit of that, and you say a couple words, you set fire to it, it goes poof, and it smells really good, and you feel really powerful, and it sends your petition out to the universe, and you get what you want. Petitioning, right? Witches out there, we know about petitioning, and we do it quite fucking well. Now, whenever we're talking about petitioning prayer, this is the more common that you're going to find. And it's going to be something like, oh, Lord, can you help me find my rosary so I can pray the rosary in your holy name? Amen. And that's a petition prayer. You're asking to have something found for you in this case. You're asking for something to come to you. The Serenity Prayer. God grant me the serenity to change the things that, to accept the things that I can change or cannot change. I can't remember the Serenity Prayer. My grandmother actually probably still has it in her living room to this day. That's been there my entire life, and yeah, it's quite beautiful, and I love the Serenity Prayer. Can't remember it. Don't hold it against me. Anyway, that is a type of petitioning prayer. Now, I did a video a few years back in like 2016, 2017, where I talked about the difference between prayer and meditation and spell work. To me, 3 different distinct things. And I still do believe that. Petitioning prayer is something that kind of teeters in between, spell work and prayer, So there you go. There are little gray areas within everything. But for the most part, I still stick with prayer on one side is you talking to God and or to deity or whoever, and spell work being spell work, something that you are forcing out. Um, Keeping in mind, whenever you're doing petitioning prayer, you're not always going to get what you want. Whenever you're actually doing spell work, you're kind of forcing things along. You're not really giving any outside influences any decision making unless that's part of your petition. Um, so basically, I could say, okay, I want a new phone, and if it be your will, oh God. Boom, phone might come into existence. It might not. Could be because God didn't have it in the cards for me to have this new phone. However, I write down, I will have this phone by this date, and this is how it's going to happen. And I put incense on it, I light it up, and I send it out, and somehow that phone is going to end up in my possession. Works many times. Sometimes the bigger things that you ask for are a little harder to get through universal channels, but does work. So, the difference is, one, I'm doing it by my will, and the other, I'm doing it by thy will. Difference. Anyway, that's petition prayer. Whenever you are asking or petitioning somebody, somewhere, someone to act or to do something for you. So different from intercessory because you're asking somebody to ask deity, source, what have you. You are asking them to ask on your behalf. That's intercessory. Petition prayer, asking directly, can I have this? Okay. Next one, because we are moving right along here on time. Time is just passing on by. Is rote prayer, or your. I also consider this meditative prayer. Okay. So, and then we're going to get into how to pray. So with rote prayer, you have standard prayers. You have the Our Father, or Our Father. You have the Hail Mary. You have, in the Gnostic liturgy, you have the Gnostic prayer. You have the Hail Sophia. What's the other one? Oh, I forget this one. Oh, geez. Oh, the Glory Bees. That's it. Yep. The Glory Patri. Yes. So you have these different ones that are distinctly for the cross. You have the ones that are distinctly for the first bead, the three little beads, the fourth little bead there. The ones that are to be said on the chain, the ones that are to be said in the decade, the ones that are supposed to be said on these chains, and whatnot. You have certain things that are supposed to be said at certain times in certain ways for this to be said correctly. Okay, so with that said, one thing I love about rote prayer is that you don't have to come up with anything. I do like to come up with my own spell work. I do like to write my own prayers. I also like the rote prayers, the ones that have been said throughout time, or at least some variation of one that's been said throughout time. The Our Father is a perfect example of one that's been said throughout time, throughout history. And you know what? I'm saying in my way, shape, or form, roughly the same things that have been said for centuries, 9 millennia. And, well, probably not millennia, but, at least centuries. Definitely know that. I'm praying similar words or in a similar fashion, doing the similar movements that people have done for centuries. And that is something that is deeply impactful. It kind of connects you. It's that unbroken circle, that unbroken bond between you and the others of that tradition, or that have done similar acts. It is something that connects you to these individuals outside of time and space. So I do kind of love the rote prayers, because it's something that you can sit there and you can just, sink into and be a part of. So I do kind of love that. The thing I don't love about it is, like this individual said in the comments, that it feels repetitive, and they don't feel a connection. And I can understand that. I mean, there is definitely something in whenever I'm sitting here praying the rosary that I may sit there and say, Hail Sophia, full of light, Christ is with thee, blessed art thou among the aeons, blessed is thou, hold on, I lost my train of thought now. Hail Sophia, full of light, Christ is with thee, blessed art thou among the aeons, and blessed is the liberator of the light, Jesus. Hail Sophia, mother of all gods, pray to light for us children now and in the hour of our death. Hail Sophia, full of light, Christ is with thee, blessed art thou among the aeons, and blessed is the liberator of the light, Jesus. Hail Sophia, mother of all gods, pray to light for us children now and in the hour of our death. See, I can say that, and it becomes monotonous, and you might not feel a connection, because part of you either feels, okay, is this really doing anything? Is it just a rote memorization that, does it mean anything? And that's whenever I come to the meditative part. Because for me, the rosary, even though it is beautiful and it is rote prayers, there is something deeper to it. Whenever we are sitting here, even with the mala beads, which my mala beads are right here, even with the mala beads, whenever we're saying a mantra on a mala bead set, we might not think of what each one of the words mean, but that's okay if you're going for the meditative state. The thing to remember is that if you're praying the rosary many times, such as today's is the Bridal Mysteries from me in my little packet here, and I will try to get those on ChristoPaganism.com either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to try to do that. Well, tonight being Saturday, tomorrow being actually Sunday, whenever you're watching this, I'm going to try to have them up by then. Anyway, moving on. Whenever you're praying through these, you have mysteries that you are reflecting on. If you're saying the Rosary of the Dead, you're reflecting on the deceased. So you are going through these and you're saying, Hail Sophia, full of light, and you're in your mind, you are meditating. You're doing much more than just saying a recitation. This recitation actually just gets you to the point of a deeper meditative state. So, if you're not feeling connected, whenever you are praying the rosary, or you're praying any of these rote prayers, keep in mind that while you're doing this, that you are going into that meditative state, that you are sinking into that connection that connects you to everybody else that has prayed these prayers. And as you're doing that, have in your mind what either the mysteries are for the day, like today is the Bridal Mysteries that I'm going to be saying, which, talks about, let's see, let me go through here, because I'll read them right to you. The mystery of the Consorts, where Christ and Sophia are partners as aeons Sidducees, emanating from the unknown Father, Word, and Wisdom, So while I'm praying the rote prayer of Hail Sophia, full of light, Christ is with thee, blessed art thou among the aeons, blessed is the liberator of the light, Jesus. Hail Sophia, mother of all gods, pray to light for us thy children, now and in the hour of our death. Amen. And then I'm going and I'm thinking about Christ and Sophia being partners in that rote memorization, that rote prayer is something that keeps your mind and everything else occupied, while your mind, or keeps your mouth and everything else occupied, while your mind is actually focused on Christ and Sophia, partnered as aeons, Sidducees emanating from the unknown Father, Word and Wisdom. As I'm thinking about that, I'm going through, and my mouth is saying words. My hands are moving across these beads, but my mind is singularly focused on what it needs to be doing, which is paying glory to Christ and Sophia right here. So that's one thing to kind of alter your mind on how you're seeing these rote prayers. Excuse you. Jelly was on the working altar. Everybody, boo her. Boo. Anyway. Yeah, she knows she's not allowed up there. Anyway. So that's one thing to keep in mind whenever you're using rote prayers, is that you are connecting to people outside of time and space, for one. Not only are you doing that, but you're also connecting to the mysteries, the person that you are praying on behalf of as an intercessory. You are keeping them in mind, and the changes that you are trying to have occur. So, and even in the rote prayer, we have in the second part of the Hail Sophia. Hail Sophia, Mother of all gods, pray to the light for us, thy children, now and in the hour of our death. We are praying an intercessory prayer to Sophia to pass on to the source of energy, known as the light, the source of our being, the source of all. So that is one thing to keep in mind, and I've kind of slipped into the how do we pray, and I've covered that with the rote prayers, the meditative prayers, where you're going through and you're meditating on something, you're keeping that in mind. This is more of an active meditation than what I would normally consider meditation, because there is a difference in my mind. Prayers are you asking. Meditation is you listening, and spell work is you forcing. And you know what? I'm okay with all three. So anyway, where was I going? Oh, how do we pray? So I've already covered this one. How do you pray with this? Other ways that you can pray is straight from your heart, from your mind. One of the things I love to do is whenever I'm going around walking or whatnot. A lot of times I do this whenever I go out for a cigarette at work. I'm not gonna lie. I will go for a walk, at work, and I will walk around and I will start to think and philosophize and, work things out in my mind and talking to myself. Come on. You coming over or not? Okay. Guess not. So I will actually be doing that in my mind, and it's a sort of prayer for me. It's also a sort of meditation for me, to where I am consciously asking deity to, impart wisdom, impart what they think I should do, or how they think I should handle something, or how I should handle something. So I may be asking deity for this and walking around and meditating and just, kind of off the cuff, riffing a little bit. Like, oh, okay, well, if I do this video on cinnamon this day, am I going to really be able to do, the one on catnip, 3 weeks from now? Is that going to be too close together? Is that going to be weird? Is that going to be too contradictory? And do I really want to do the cinnamon one? And having these thoughts and, sending them up and having this conversation with deity is a form of prayer. And that's one thing that you have to keep in mind is that whenever you're talking to deity, that's prayer. Um, if you're talking out loud and your intended person of reception is deity, that's prayer, my friend, and you're doing it. So a lot of times I do that whenever I'm walking around, and sometimes I get a little thing in my little aha moments where deity says, "You know what? Do cinnamon." And I just dropped it. They say do cinnamon and do that video, and it will be what it is. And you need to not freak out about the little tiny details of this, because your purpose here is to help. Stop messing around with the little details, focus on the bigger picture of things. And yes, I've gotten that message multiple times. So yeah, those are the type of situations where you just freely riff, and you have a conversation. Now, keeping in mind, whenever you're having this conversation with deity, that this is supposed to be a two-way conversation. If you're just sitting there praying and you're not shutting up to actually listen, you're not having a good conversation. It would be a lot like me, here on a Zoom call, having, somebody else on this channel, and kind of like, doing a little conference over YouTube, doing a little interview, and them not ever getting a chance to say anything. That's what it would be like. And that's not the way to be, especially with your deity. At least not in my mind. Surely there is enough time and, relationship there that you can say your piece and then wait for a response. Maybe, if you don't have the time to wait, maybe you're not in it to actually hear a response. I don't know. Because sometimes that response comes immediately, sometimes it takes time. Another thing is, sometimes whenever you have these quick little prayers like, Sophia, should I be praying the Bridal Mysteries today? Can you let me know? I'm really busy today, and can you let me know throughout the day? Send me a sign or something like that. That would help me out. Asking for signs is not a bad thing. I know a lot of people, they think of, send me a sign, and they expect it to be this big, bold gesture. No, not always. Sending me a sign is, if I'm asking, okay, should I be praying the Bridal Mysteries, and then I'm watching YouTube later on that day, and they have an ad for David's Bridal, it could be something as simple as that. And these are things that you have to pay attention to. If you're not willing to sit there and listen to the meditation part, or during the meditation part, if you're not willing to listen to deity at that moment, if you are busy, you must seek out the signs that are being sent. Now, if Sophia did not want me to pray the Bridal Mysteries, instead she wanted me to meditate on the Liberation Mysteries, maybe then she would say, send me a sign of, of like a news alert. Like I get these ones from CNN that say, this or that, whatever. I'm not going to read which one's on my phone right now, but maybe it will pop up and say, in this country, they are asking to liberate these individuals. Okay, maybe I can take that as a sign. What gets really confusing is whenever you have the sign of that, and then you have the sign of David's Bridal, and you're really confused. You end up doing both prayers, and that's okay too. It's no harm, no foul, of course, more prayers is always better. But anyway, I think all I'm doing now is just rambling along, and that's okay. Um, but anyway, those are the types of prayers that we have, or that I'm just picking off the top of my head here. But what they are, what they mean, and how to do them. Let's see, did I miss any points here? A video on how to pray. And, you know, and they don't feel like they have a connection. Okay. So, a lot of the part about not feeling the connection is if you're in rote prayer and you may not be meditating on the focus, or focusing on the meditative part. So maybe you are praying the Rosary and you're not focusing on the Bridal Mysteries, the Liberation Mysteries, the Gnostic Mysteries. Maybe you're not the Pleroma Mysteries. Maybe you're not focusing on those things that you should be focusing on. And if you're hearing something with the mic, that's because Jelly's bumping it because she is wanting attention or something. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her today. It's very weird. Anyway, maybe you're not focusing on the focal point that you are needing to. Maybe you need to mix it up. Instead of doing rote prayer all the time, maybe switching it up to, a freestyle, just sit down and have a conversation. And I really want to say, like, even in the pagan community, I think sometimes we get away from just sitting there and having a conversation with the deity that we are supposed to be working with. Sitting down in a chair, just a regular chair, and saying, Christ, I would like to have a conversation with you. I am really struggling with this, and I need some guidance. I need you to tell me what you think I should be doing here. What is my purpose on this? And then he's going to say, Rich, my wife Sophia told you, do the damn cinnamon video and stop it. Anyway, stop looking at the little things. So, sitting down and having that conversation with deity is not a bad thing. And again, I think this is something that both the Christians and the pagans and the Christo-Pagans, we all kind of take for granted sometimes. I know I do. And I'm betting some of you out there probably do as well. Maybe I'm calling you out. Maybe I'm being a little harsh on it. But I think we all do at some level. Sometimes we just get in that rut. It's just human nature. So, yeah. Sit down. If you're having issues like this, sit down and just have a conversation with the guy. It's okay. Or the gal. Or the non-gender specific individual. These are individuals that are in your corner. They are fighting for you. They got your back. Even in paganism, the Morgan, even though, like, the Morgan is fierce, I would not want to meet the Morgan in the back alley. Let's put it that way. I'm a little intimidated by the Morgan, and I know that she means business. So if you are working with the Morgan, props to you. But somebody like that would not be a good fit for me, because I would have apprehension of sitting there having a conversation with somebody like that. That would be hard for me. But for somebody that works with her and they know her, she knows them, and they are working together on a common goal. Somebody like that can probably sit down with the Morgan and have that conversation. I don't work with the Morgan, I don't know. But I'm willing to bet that that relationship is similar to mine with Sophia and Christ. So, just something to keep in mind. And I went on a little rant there, and this video is going to get way too long. And I definitely have things that I need to edit out. It is starting to get late, and I was yawning, so I have to cut those out. Anyway, now I lost my train of thought. What's my closing? Oh my gosh. Okay. If you agree or disagree or are indifferent to this video, just go ahead and tell me down in the comments. I always love reading comments. If you have discussions that you want to have in the future on future Christo-Pagan Sunday videos, or even Witchy Wednesday videos, those ones I need topics for as well. Leave those comments in the bottom bar, or in the comment section below, in the nether regions down in my pants. Leave those comments down there. I would love to read them. I love reading your guys' comments. I try to get back to them as quickly as possible. Sometimes I miss them. Don't hold that against me. So if you have any comments on future Christo-Paganism Sundays or Witchy Wednesdays, leave those down in my pants. Also, while you are down in my pants, what else can you do but give me the nice thumbs up? We're not going to tell you where to put that thumb up, but give me a thumbs up telling the world that you like this video. And that helps appease the algorithmic gods that we have conversations with on YouTube. So just try to work that one in there just a little bit. And also hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed. I do keep an eye on the analytics, and I think that there's about 30% of you that are not subscribed. And I am going to call shame. Shame. And hopefully everybody else will too. Fun. Anyway, let's shame them into actually hitting that subscribe button. Fun to do as a group. Let's do it. Anyway, just joking there. Little lightheartedness. While you are down there, hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos by me and whatnot, and you can have these crazy ramblings on a Saturday night that get posted on Sunday mornings. But let's see, what else are we doing? On Tuesday, join me Tuesday for the Tarot Talk Tuesday. We are doing the Six of Swords. We're moving right through this, and then the following week we have a deck review, right? Are we to that time of the month already? Yes. Okay, so yes, next week is the Six of Swords. The following week we're doing another deck review. I can't even remember which ones we're reviewing. Anyway, then join me on Wednesday for Witchy Wednesday, where I am discussing the mirror box, actually the reversed mirror box that most people I have not seen cover, and how I plan to use this odd-looking box in my practice. And then we have Table Talk Thursdays. We got Chapter 9. I think it's Chapter 9. Yes, Chapter 9 in the Inner Temple of Witchcraft by Christopher Penzek. If you don't have your copy, go ahead and get one. And join us for that. For our Witchy Book Club series. And then join me again next Sunday for another Christo-Paganism Sunday. I have no clue which subject we are covering. So, with all of that promotion out of the way, until next time, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye.